beyond self.
I think one thing that we've spoken a lot on is the reason why we don't feel like it's work is because of two words really, passion and purpose. But what about, like, what do you think the journey is for passion and purpose from your perspectives? Because like if you, like somebody watching this will be like, okay, I get it now, I'm missing passion and purpose. But I think the real question is, okay, how do I find the passion and purpose? What is your journey? What is your experience of that? Welcome to another episode of the
Creator Show.
And today we have a very exciting panel. And today is actually our episode 1 of season 2 of the Creator Show, back from popular demand. So I'm going to hand it over, first of all, to the other side. We have
Man.
Yay!
I don't know how to.
And we have
Angela! Yay!
And we have
Kaina!
Yay! Did you just clap for yourself? Okay, so in this episode we decided to speak on the topic of work-life balance. As many of you know, that we run a relatively good-sized organization that reaches out to millions of people around the world with a lot of positivity and motivation. And while we are inspiring others to take action and live their dreams, live their goals, or reach their highest potential, I think it's probably interesting for the viewers or the listeners to understand what is it that we do to balance out the work-life balance, or is it all work and no life?
I think when we're talking about work-life balance, before I came into this circle or this whole like crazy community, right? It's like, okay, I need to find a set amount of time where I just spend with family and then be able to just focus on work on the other time. But
eventually you lost the family.
That doesn't happen.
But in actual fact, whenever, like maybe some of you guys can relate to this, but when you're doing something that you see the vision to it, you see that doing it doesn't actually feel like work, then there's no such thing as a work-life balance. It's just a life balance where you just make sure that, okay, the thing that I'm doing now, I feel empowering because I want to help more people. That's the feeling that I get whenever I'm working. It's not about, okay, how do I run more ads so that it reaches more people? No, how do I impact more lives by doing the marketing that I'm doing right now? So whenever I'm thinking about how do I balance myself, in actual fact,
there is no balance.
There's no balance. Yeah.
But I think, like, for example, the other day, I invited my dad over to one of my webinars, and he couldn't log into the webinar. But then he messaged me the other day. He's like, "Oh, you're working too much," and I'm thinking, I'm pretty chill, you know. Like, I'm not even. I don't feel that it's work. You know, sometimes people may have Monday through Friday, and it's like, oh, Friday, and then you go on the weekend. But we're like Monday through Thursday, Friday event, continue on Monday kind of deal. And just like Man said, like, it doesn't feel like work because you're enjoying what you're doing. But I don't think there is a lot of people out there who might enjoy their work. And how do you balance that out? For me, I mean, I think going to the gym, or, you know, spending an afternoon or a couple hours for yourself, or at least for myself, I think that's how I find balance. Like doing maybe yoga and things like that, things for myself. I think that is what I consider balance between work and my personal life.
I think it's very interesting because I think the team slowly evolved to having a similar approach without the discussion. And I think that it's when people first enter, it's a bit of a roller coaster ride emotionally, and a bit of a confusion ride trying to figure out what is going on.
Yeah.
Like, where's my life gone?
Yeah.
I think that this is what I observe from the people who newly join the team, to some people who cannot deal with that emotional roller coaster and leave before they figure it out. And the people who stay, this is what I'm observing, is that we never set rule. We never say, okay, team, so everybody must work 7 days a week and this amount of hours, and you don't think about anything else, right? So there's never been that discussion. There's never even been a discussion on finding your passion and things like that. It's just we've left. It's kind of like just leaving people on it's like a test field, and watch your own growth and development in it. It's been interesting just observing.
Yeah, I think like overall, like when you mentioned people maybe not able to keep up with the lifestyle, because I think when I started back in the day, you know, my job was, I used to work every single day because the work that I had to, you know, do events and parties, but it was a different feeling. I was looking forward a weekend, or I was looking forward, I just want to get out of work, you know, because I was tired. Like I was doing something good, but in my mind, or how I put in my intention, it was not purposeful. When I came here, I continue working the same amount of time, but the view changed, and the reason why I do the things that I do. And sometimes it could be hard because people on the outside, like my family, is like, you're working too much. Like, why you're working too much? And it's like, I'm not working that well, I am working hard, but I am working hard, but it doesn't feel like I'm working hard because it's effortless because of the purpose or the feeling that I put behind it.
That's why I love that saying where they say, work like you have no life, live like you have no work. Mm-hmm. And I really know now from so many years of doing this is that the outside world will look at us, just like what you said about your family saying you're working too hard, mm-hmm. is they look at us and they say, you work like you have no life. But what they don't realize is the truth behind it is we're actually living like we have no work. Like every day, we don't feel like we're working. It's like this right now. Like this is work, having a conversation. So I think that it's an interesting thing, and I think it's back to what Man was saying, very important about passion, very important about purpose, knowing the bigger why, the reason why we are doing it. And when the reason is big enough, you don't lack motivation. You don't feel like, oh, it's too tough today, you know?
Yeah, I think like for me personally, like for example, today we usually go to the gym like 6 in the morning to 8:30, and then I took a nap after gym because I felt like I needed to rest my body. But then I woke up and then we went to have breakfast outside in I was just telling Kaina before we started the show, and it was pretty calm, chill, like taking time for ourselves and getting prepared for our day to come and do the show and do different things along the way. So it doesn't really feel like I need to go to work. It's just part of my day, and this is how my day runs, and this is what I like to do.
And I think a big part of that is, and this is going to be very interesting and fascinating, especially for those who have businesses or employ any people, is that we don't really have any set times that people need to be in the office or when they need to can only leave the office, or there is no set times. It just so happens that I think that when you have the strong people there, it affects the people around, and people start feeling this responsibility that, hey, everyone else is showing up for this vision and I need to show up. Mm-hmm. But the beauty about it is that because everyone will have an off time or an off hours or off days or even an off week, they're feeling a little bit off. And I think the beauty about this is there's never been restrictions, whether it's from our CEO to the whole organization, the manager or whoever. There's never been a restriction to say, like anyone can just be like, I'm going to be in 2 hours later, and it's okay, because we respect that energy is flowing differently all the time, and sometimes you just need that. You just need that nap, and it's okay because you're giving to yourself, you're recharging. Mm-hmm. But as a collaborative, though, I feel that it's it's very strong as a
I
as a
think
whole.
the difference between usual people in any jobs or in their daily lives and us is that, like Angela said, usually everyone is looking forward to that weekend or looking forward to, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna call in sick today. Or even when you have a slight cough, okay, I'm not feeling well, I'm off for the whole week. But it always comes back to me to that moment many years ago when you told me, when I was being just a normal human, just came in, Sorry, just came into this whole organization, and I was like, we were at the event, and in the morning I was like, I had a slight less good sleep, and it's like, okay, I'm not feeling well, I'm not coming in today. And he said to me, you have no right to be sick today. There are people downstairs waiting for you to serve them. They need your help right now. Whatever you feel, you have no right to feel sick, upset, or anything, because it's not about you. It's about what you can do to help those people and to serve them.
So just to put this into context, this was not forcing her to.
You just don't have any right.
Put this into context, right?
Human rights.
Because everyone's like, you don't have the right to be ill. No. Actually, it was
a good thing.
no. The context is like this though. If somebody is ill, you take your time. Just like what I was saying before, even if you need that extra few hours, you take that time. It depends on the context, because at that time, she had just came from a job, working environment in Amsterdam, and then come over here. The psychology is very normal human-like, which is exactly what she mentioned just before, is I just woke up a little bit tired. And the interesting thing is, most people, they will have, I mean, and I'm sure everyone who's listening or watching can actually remember a time like that, where you wake up and you're just feeling a little bit more tired, and you're feeling like, I don't want to go to work, therefore you call in sick. You're not sick.
You just don't want to go. Yeah.
You just don't want to go that day. Which, okay, that's fine. But at that, then is a test of spirit. And I believe when we observe, is that if I see a spirit like that, that can be tested, that can be strengthened, then it requires the pushing. And that's where the context come in. You have no right. You have no right to be sick.
Okay, now we see.
Because it cannot be that she's like, oh, burning at 100 degrees, and I'm like, you have no right to be sick. So I think that, and I think that's also an important thing as well, is that when people observe the results that we get, or what we do, or our events, or how many people we reach, and all the rest of it, I think that. And what we've observed over the years is that a lot of people, they want to be a part of it. Everybody always, everybody's, I want to be part of your team. Oh my God, the team's so cool. I want to be part of the team. Everybody from outside always says that. Now, at the beginning, I would always get tricked into it, because I would be like, wow, they're so passionate. They're really good. They're really dedicated. But what I realized over time is that we are running we're running a super mission. Like it's beyond what the average person is doing. Mm-hmm. So we can call it a super mission, which requires superhumans. And I think this is the I guess truth revealed that we're revealing to the audience today, so that nobody thinks to apply for the job without knowing what they're in for. Because what usually then happens is, oh yeah, I'm really keen, I'm very motivated. From their standard, everything is perspective. From their standard, they're motivated. Maybe when they were working at which supermarket, they were the most motivated. But it's different. Everything's perspective. And so when they come in, what I see is a lot of the time people are like, after the first week is WTF, you know, it's like, where's the weekend? Or what do you mean Saturday? What do you mean Sunday? What do you mean, why are you messaging in the middle of the night? You know, like, why are you requiring things in the middle of the night? And to be honest, I believe that most people, after very quick time, actually, one week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of it, will be like,
that's not for me.
Yeah. Actually, you know, I feel that, you know, it's not quite aligned with me, and whatever, or I feel that it's a little bit, you know, you guys are crazy, basically.
I think we are crazy, but not that much crazy. But I think it when it comes to having this whole thing about balance, it's more about the what you call it, the vision or being aligned with what you're doing. Like I remember when I took the opportunity that you provided me a long time ago, it was more because I understood what was not only a admin work or a regular position in a company, but the reason behind taking that job. And many times people might come in like, oh, it's another job, or maybe it's an escape for something, without realizing that you're stepping into a bubble of positivity, that it requires just more than motivation, but that discipline every day, and knowing your why, and knowing why is it that we're doing what we're doing every day. Otherwise it becomes extremely difficult to keep pushing every single day for that. And also I think you've been here in the company for a long time. I think out of all of us, you've been, and no, actually you two been in the company for a long time. So I mean, how did you guys, because I think until 2 years ago it was more about, well, at least for me, it was more about the whole mission and the vision. But how was it before? You still were doing other things, like how did you manage that?
I think for me in the beginning it was more to do with, okay, let me learn so I can build a skill that is transferable and is a high value skill, which Master presented. Hey man, why not do digital marketing? I was like, sure, what have I got to lose, right? And along the journey, of course, there's going to be there was things where I'm like, why am I doing marketing, or like what's the point of all this and stuff like that. But
in fact, he asked that question yesterday.
But ever since I've ever since the whole transition from Eric Ho into Master Sri Akarshana, and the whole spirituality and law of attraction has really built up, not only for the community but for also within the team, I've deployed a lot of gratitude within what I do. Regardless of how I feel, I'm always grateful. Like I might be feeling shit that day, but I'm like, actually, it doesn't really matter. Actually, it shouldn't matter how I feel like, because every day I'm always grateful for the position I'm in, how I'm able to help others with the skills that I've developed over these years, and being around positive people. Like you go into another environment, you know for a fact it's not the same as how we've created this space, not only for ourselves but also for our community as well. So gratitude, being thankful for everything, also helps build your spirit as well. Makes you a lot more stronger whenever you're facing challenges.
I think it'll also be a interesting perspective. Very similar, because previously you were working in Maplins, and then you manager at Maplins, yeah. and then you come to this organization. Obviously, that is very structured in what time you arrive and what time you leave and all the rest of it. And then also Kaino was also working in a supermarket before coming here, and through the you do not have the right to to be sick training. There's been a big she's evolved a lot through the time. Not only that, also what I see is very interesting now, because when we have the newbies that arrive and they're like, oh, I'm sick, or oh, I'm not feeling well, or oh, I can't do this today, or something like that, I see her reaction to it. She's like almost like, but hers is a little bit more outside.
Yes.
So my
she's sick. They shouldn't be sick.
Yeah.
They should.
But this obviously inside. I'm observing. I'm witnessing, and I'm like, okay, I get where they are. Hers is a little bit more expressive, so I see it, and it's interesting because it's almost like she is physically voicing my thoughts. And coming from there to here, trained up, being able to do work every single day, it'll be nice to hear that journey and perspective, because what are there any pluses, minuses, or what is the journey like?
From the transition of calling in sick to
working in a job mentality, working in a job mentality to joining this mission that we're doing now.
I think it is for sure the purpose, and knowing that that everything you're doing today is helping somebody out there, whether you actually can see the person you're helping, or whether whatever you put out as content is going to reach so many people, because we get so many messages every single day of how grateful they are for whatever we put out and how much it has helped them become a better person in their way and getting out of their situation that they were struggling with. And I've never felt that way just in the supermarket I was working in. Yes, I was driven to become from a cashier to management level, but that was basically it. It was just like, okay, well, I guess you get more money when you're higher up. That's it. And it looks kind of cool to be a manager, but other than that, there wasn't really a big drive. Oh, I want to make sure that all the products in the supermarket are perfect so that they can help whoever is buying them.
But some people do think that way.
Some people do, which is perfect. Moment, yeah. But to me, it wasn't that way. And I feel that what we're doing here is amazing. And I think I know how that sentence of "you have no right to be ill" is very funny, but to me that was like a huge turning point, because ever since that moment, yes, it took obviously the human side kicks in every now and then back then of, okay, I'm feeling tired again, let's just call him. But then slowly that sentence keeps coming back to me every time I feel that way. It's like, I have no right. And it is true, I have no right, because we are here every single day, put on this earth, blessed with another day of life. And you're supposed to do... Again,
just put into context, I believe that you do have right.
There is
I believe you
right.
always have right because you're free spirit. But when you do Dutch translation, then it's you have no right.
Yes, that is true. But yeah, I just feel that everybody who's watching this video as well, you are blessed with another day of life. So make the most out of it, and the way you can do that is by being of service to others. Is the most rewarding thing you could do, and I think that we can all agree on that, because it's beyond self.
I think one thing that we've spoken a lot on is the reason why we don't feel like it's work is because of two words really: passion and purpose. But what about, like, what do you think the journey is for passion and purpose from your perspectives? Because, like, if you, like, somebody watching this will be like, okay, I get it now. I'm missing passion and purpose. But I think the real question is, okay, how do I find the passion and purpose? What is your journey? What is your experience of that? Because I know some of you will be like, yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing, what my future is. I know some can be sat here also, kind of, but I think there's more and it's still to come. So what is that journey?
I think for me, like, there is something that I've learned over the past years, and you always repeat it, is the quality of your questions, is the quality of your answers, and having a consistent curiosity about life. Because back then when I was, I had a huge debt that I came out from real estate, and in my mind it couldn't settle that I had to leave my life to pay debt. Like, I'm like, there, like, what? Like, I cannot work from 9 to 5 and pay debt, and hopefully I will get a vacation with my mom and my sisters by the end of the year. Like, that was not settling in, and that consistent questioning about life. Well, there is more, right? There have to be some, rich people or famous people, they have to be doing something that I'm not doing, right? So having that constant questioning, and even nowadays being in the surrounding, there's still more that I want. So there's more questions that I might ask, like, actually today at the gym, I was questioning myself. I'm like, you know, back in the day, I had two leaders also from when I was in middle school, and they were also religious, and they both became, my two leaders became
Choose the right guidance.
at least because of that, like monks, not monks, but like
Nuns.
nuns, right? And then I'm thinking, that's funny. And then I was thinking about you, Master, and Varalakshmi, and I'm thinking, it's very interesting of why I had the opportunity to be in these two surroundings, completely different. So keep asking questions and looking for answers, right? Not just sitting there and not taking some type of actions, because if you would like to manifest a life where, wow, I would like that, then you have to take some type of action, not just being comfortable or afraid of, okay, maybe this is a secure job, or maybe I shouldn't leave this job because how am I gonna pay the bill? And I'm not saying quit your job and just move somewhere else, but just having that curiosity, and how can you actually end up manifesting something similar, or recreating something to find that passion.
So I think that summing up what you're saying is kind of like a lot of people are stuck, lost, trying to find their purpose or passion, but at the same time choosing, and I use the word choosing, to stay in their existing environment. And they are choosing, although they'll give excuses to, no, it's because I can't leave, it's because I need to look after kids, it's because but it's still choosing. You still have a choice to say, I'm going to leave, and I'm going to be open for new opportunities. And I think that is very important, is that most people, they sat in the same thing, what is my purpose, what is my purpose, what is my purpose, but you're stuck. So when you're stuck in one place, how can you find your purpose? You have to have that curiosity to explore, right?
Yeah, I think in this world there are people who may be able to find out what their purpose is, or what their drive is early on in the stage of life. But you know, for some of us, there are people who maybe haven't found that answer yet. And for me, I'm proof of this. This is why I can also suggest this. You need to be able to find the right guidance, someone who can help you be able to find what journey is to manifest, or to be able to go through. Because if you're doing this blindly, you're going to go through an adventure. For
example, like the time I guided you to make that make that YouTube video. Do you mean like that? And by the way, we should make sure to send that video in. So we should pop the video up now, and you can watch it. We're going to freeze frame this part, and you can watch the video.
This is like meat. What does it feel like? Like beef. It tastes like beef. Like beef. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know beef.
Yeah, like the cow.
I'm still in my mind.
Is that like when they do outrageous night? Monopoly in.
As soon as my face hits the
At least because of that experience, you now know you definitely don't want to do that. Right? Action towards something.
That's a big point.
Yeah.
What Kaina's saying there is actually a very big point. I mean, as funny as the situation was, but that is a big point. I see it like some people, they're like, what's my purpose, what's my purpose, what's my purpose, what's my purpose? They just keep asking, and hopefully God will answer, or universe will answer. Some people, they're like, let me try this, no, don't like it. Let me try this, don't like it. I did it. I tried forex trading. I tried property investing. I tried different things, and don't enjoy it. Don't enjoy it. Because we try, we realize that no. Yeah. And then when we filter out all the no's, then we have the yes. Right?
No,
it's like people dating and finding the true one. How do they know that's the one? Because they know the others were not. You know?
I mean, I can't
now
say
you
it.
know that that's not your purpose.
Now you know why I guided you to make that video.
Yes. Thank you, Master.
No, but it could have been amazing, like Dinosaur, who's making millions out of it, and then became his purpose to do that.
But the only way to open up that opportunity portal is to try.
Yeah.
I was that situation. I remember it so clearly. Everyone was like, "Yeah, man, I can definitely see you doing it. Yeah, I'll help you like find out all the different clips that you can model." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And it comes to the moment. In my mind, what was going. So I'm guessing that you guys already saw the clip. In my mind, when I was looking at that plate of food, I was like, "Am I actually really doing this?" And then I could feel everyone's energies just like locking onto me. It's like
peer pressure.
Like, is he actually going to do it? Is he actually going to do it? The moment the food lands onto my face.
Oh, the moment you land into the air.
Was what? Regret. What do you mean the food landed on your face?
Sorry, my face landed on the food.
You mean you landed in the food? Think of their emotions.
It was like one of those feelings where you're like, what am I doing? Like your face is my face was in the food, and I was like, usually it's meant to be inside of me, not on my face, right?
Oh, just to put it into context, by the way, we're also going to pop up another video, Angela can send that through as well, is of a guy who trends doing dadasaw, I think it's called, dadasaw. And every time, we're just going to show the
Well, we're
show
trying
the
to model that part.
Yeah, so we thought, hey, that trends, that works, so maybe man could do something similar because he loves food. Yeah.
Yeah, now I know I don't love food in that sense.
So we can freeze frame this part and then show that video too.
Okay, guys.
Ooh, that's too big. Is that too big?
No, it's fine. It's a good size. That is huge. That is way too big of a piece. Oh my gosh, that's totally huge.
Hey, do you think Dinosaur wants some cake?
Knock it off. Ellie, don't even start with him. No. Frank, knock it off. That's the Easter. Don't. Frank, seriously. Oh, come on. I'm not even joking. Frank, knock it off. Come on. That's the Easter.
Yeah. But actually, I just want to hook onto another point there. I feel that through testing, we evolve. And it's not just saying that through testing, we decide that that's not good for me, therefore something else is good for me. I believe through testing, we learn something from it, whether on an unconscious level, and it becomes adapted to the future.
But I'm still trying to learn what
I'm saying.
Where's my evolution in this?
What I'm saying is, I think that whatever he does for media going forward, it will either be related to comedy, food, face planting, like there will be an element of that which is scraps that he did enjoy. The part that he did enjoy will be taken, and then it will be evolved. I really believe that. It's like a lot of the time when I let's say I launch a project, I say, okay guys, we're doing this project, right? So we must launch so many projects, like so many events, so many projects, so many funnels, so many ideas and different things through the years, right? And not all of them work. But what you find is that the thing that we test and then what comes later is an evolution of the first thing. You'll see there is, wait there a second, this is kind of the thing we tested 2 years ago, but you've changed it now. That's genius. But it's an evolution. So that's why I really believe that nothing happens by accident. He's still trying to find, but you don't, and I don't think you need to search for it.
Days.
You don't need to search for it. One day he'll just be having dinner and say, Angela, throw the plate in my face, right? For example, like he will get the idea because he's been through it before. Yeah. And then suddenly he'll be like, man, that's the trending thing. That's what it is. It's always Angela throwing the plate at my face. You know, I mean, that's just an example. I'm not saying do it, but she's getting ideas now.
I think we have to be daring to and courageous to step into all of those options, because a lot of the time we're too scared to take any action because what if it goes wrong? But
Do you want to try, kind of?
No. I think that is also another big point is courage.
Yeah.
People are stuck because they don't have the courage to step out of what they already know. Another thing is uncomfortable. Back to what we were saying before, a lot of people, when they come to a space like this, they feel it's too much, it's not aligning with me right now. Understand that what is not aligning with you right now is not saying it's bad. It's saying that you right now aligned is creating the results that you're creating right now. What does that mean? You got to disalign to realign. Then you realign with the new you. And if you're evolving to a new you, let's say, for example, suddenly you're going from working to 9 till 5, and then you're thinking, I want to be in a happy, this happy bubble of I am creator, and then realize, whoa, this happy bubble works 17,
Like
18
this.
hours a day, right? And through the weekend. To feel that at first will be uncomfortable because they're not used to it. Their body's not used to it. Their mind's not used to it. What do you mean? But I am feeling a little bit off today. I should take the day off, right? So how? But it's the same thing as any athlete. Like from a boxer to a power lifter to anything. Doesn't matter. They train on days they don't feel like it. Runners, they run when it's raining, when it's snowing, when it's cold, when it's hot, and they don't feel like it. It's uncomfortable. And I think it's just that decision to say, I want to level up. And I'm ready to level up. I accept that it's going to be uncomfortable. I'm just going to stick to my word. And I think that amount of discipline will eventually take them, as long as it's, congruent with positivity and love, and it is something that there is a mission behind it. There is a why. There is a purpose behind it. I think that's the most important thing, is the why for the goal. The things you need to do to achieve that is not easy.
yeah, I think like touching and what kind of like it's it can be fearful, and it's not easy to step into courage or bravery to say I'm gonna do this, because like the way I see it is you have two different type of people. Either you already have that determination, you have that commitment, and you're coming and you understand your why. But then sometimes, in my case, for example, I was more of like I have touched
Rock bottom.
rock bottom, and I knew that I could not longer be where I was, and just to put a little bit into context, I was not in the best financial situation, maybe I was in a very bad relationship and heartbroken, and I was in a point that I was like, if I don't do anything, then I will go to the other side of the story, you see. So it was that moment of pain that made me be brave enough to say, fuck it, and move forward. So either you have that clarity in saying, yes, I'm going to do this, and this is what I'm going to do, or there might be people who said, let me give a slap back to life, and let me take command and responsibility for my life. And that was my case when I decided to take a leap of faith and technically leave everything, because I realized that if I didn't do that, then I will end up similar to whatever I saw at that time that I didn't want for my life. So that having that curiosity of life, but also saying, you know what, this is it, like I'm done feeling this way, or I'm done like being mediocre with myself and lying to myself, right? And that's how you actually can start. That's not the best ideal way to say just wait until you hit rock bottom and feel shitty and all of the different things, but it's how sometimes it might happen, which was my case at that time.
I think it's also about knowing yourself, because it's not like somebody watches this video, it's like, oh, they told me to quit my job, so okay, I'm gonna go quit my job. Oh, now what? Nothing's happening with my life. But knowing that if you do take that step, you're gonna do whatever it takes to make something greater out of your life, and you're gonna put all your efforts towards it, and knowing that, and I think that the ones watching this video must already have some sort of thought in their minds that they want something greater out there, because otherwise they wouldn't even have clicked on the video to inspire them. But it's about knowing that, okay, I know it's a huge step, and probably the whole world will say you're crazy for leaving this great job, but I am going to do this because this is what I want from my life. And it's not saying that people who are 9 to 5 are bad, because some people are extremely happy with their life and just loving their life, doing their 9 to 5 and then getting off work and being happy for the weekends. And it's about just, if you're happy doing that, then that's perfect, because at the end of the day, it's your life. You need to be happy and fulfilled doing that. But if you feel that there's more and that's something that you don't want that for your life, then you need to take that action and be consistent with it.
Yeah, follow through
With it.
what you say.
I feel like what some people, and also for myself as well, have been so caught up on is seeing other people reaching that success, like seeing other people, wow, with that big mansion, big house, big nice car and stuff like that. But we sometimes forget about, in order to get there, we need to do the things that are difficult, the things that requires dedication, discipline, and also what Master teaches through how you get to your big manifestation is through straight line manifestation, using your micro manifestations to reach to your big one. I think the deployment of being able to be consistent with the small actions to lead to your great manifestation is what people sometimes forget. And I think that's the thing that people sometimes struggle with, keeping consistent with things.
So consistency and taking one step at a time. Yeah. I think that one message I'd like to wrap up this today's conversation on is what I always say is master the form and flow with the formless. I think that change is for sure difficult, but change is the only constant. And there's a saying that says if we're not growing, we're dying. So it's very important that if we want to evolve, if we want to continue to evolve, become better, if we want to continue to grow, it will be uncomfortable, but it's okay, because you find that courage, you take that step, you have the right guidance around you, have the right tribe, the right environment, then you can step into the new you. And it's okay that to step into a new you which doesn't feel so aligned with you right now, because you are stepping into a brand new you. It's like a clean sheet, being able to have a rebirth in one lifetime. And I think that saying, when I say master the form, flow with the formless, when you step in, it will first be chaos before it leads to the order. But when it finally gets to the order, you will realize it's effortless. And I believe everybody on this panel today, although they're sharing their stories of the transition from one life to another life, today it's effortless. They don't think every day, oh, what am I doing? Why is it so tough? No, in fact, it's a part of them now. So the real question is, do you have the courage to step into the new you and to live that superhuman, to build that up? And if you do, then commitment is very important, guidance is very important, and having that courage is very important. And sometimes not knowing right now is not a problem, because if you open up enough doors and you explore, your passion, that purpose will finally come. So on that note, we're going to finish off for today's Creators Show. I want to thank the panel here. Thank you. Namaste. And for everybody who's tuned in here, I just want to say a big thank you for tuning in. If you got anything out of this whatsoever, please do hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. Also comment below, let us know your point of view and your stories and your journey and what you've experienced or anything you relate to. And also let us know where you guys have tuned in from. That's always nice to know. Those of you who are watching this on YouTube, please do find us on any of the podcast channels, platforms. You will be able to download this so you can listen to a lot of these inspirations while you're on the road or just walking or running or whatever, to help you make this year your best year. And finally, if you're new to this channel and you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notifications button next to that, the little bell sign, make the ding. Why does ding sound Chinese? Okay, hit that notifications button so that you get notified every time we upload another video, an inspirational, motivational, knowledge-packed
Bonanza.
bonanza would be the word to make your year your best year. But for now, guys, we're signing out. Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye.
Running through the last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my chance.